Alright, welcome everyone. I'm the B-Winks. I am still recovering from a cold, so this time around I'm going to try to read out loud these things, but I might skip a few of them if I lose my breath like I was yesterday in that last episode. Alright, so let's get going. I realized after I signed out for the day that, where is the journal? Why isn't this working? J. For the child of 5 sons, that right here it says the ambassador, right? The ambassador, if I remember correctly, right, was over here in Hearthsong, in the Longhouse. So we're going to go that way and start completing some of these quests.
Of course.
Eder, how is it you Eothasians stay so... not giving your kind much reason to hope?
You get to a certain point and you realize you got 2 options. You can go mad with grief and tear out all your hair and check yourself into the sanitarium. Or you can wait for better days.
Well, feathers in my case. But I understand your point. Wait. I don't know if I should go through with this. Make the trade deal with the Anamenfath. If a Valiant deal with the Glanfathans weakens the Deerwood, it could mean war for the Republics in the future. I could put the idea in the Anamenfath's head that the Republics are not interested in exclusive trade, but limited trade of goods that they do not already trade with the Deerwoodans.
Alright, our paths cross again. Gaul, one of my companions, a representative of Valiant Republic, wishes to discuss trade issue with you. Thorlin turns her gaze towards Pallegina. Yes, the Valiant godlike, blessed of Hyla. Pallegina bristles and quickly spits out a response. So they say. The Anamenfath's face shows no outward emotion, but her voice betrays annoyance at Pallegina's interruption. And diplomat of the Duke Bells, I understand you were to be sent here with trade assurances from your masters. Revered Amaranth, it is true that I have chosen to convey these assurances, but understand that I was fashioned more for war than etiquette. The Orlans smirks slightly. In these dangerous times, perhaps it is better to send warriors to do diplomat's work. Pallegina musters a weak smile. Indeed. Amaranth, regarding the exclusive trade agreement, her voice quavers slightly and her eyes dart in your direction. Nod head, smiling warmly. Shake head. Okay. The Republics feel it would be in the best long-term interest of all parties if you maintain your traditional good trades with the Deerwood. Down from the long ears pitch forward. Strange turn. What do the Republics want then? Pallegina speaks quickly but confidently. Tau Adra Tara perils. The trade will be picking up quickly on them in the Eastern Reach. You will buy them exclusively from us in the next 5 years. In exchange, we will be your exclusive marketer for Adraban and Kararu for the same period. When it considers the words for a long moment, an interesting proposition, Valiant. We will send emissaries south to discuss the details at great length. Your appearance here speaks well of your Duke's intentions.
That's it. My position in the Brotherhood gone. I can't believe I just made up new trade terms to the Glanfath and Anamenfath. Postinago. Verus. They have a saying in Biajepe. New gold clears even the oldest debts. If I'm right, all will be forgiven. If not...
Alright, so we're going to try this one, Cinders of Faith. So, Fyrga was in... Oh, wait, no, that's in the main city. We'll do that in a bit. How about the Arch, right? So, it's on the opposite side of the Twin Elms from Bell Lake. So, that's either poor English for in the middle of the lake, or it's got to be Elmshore. So, we're going to go to Elmshore first, because that makes most sense. And I'm going to explore this map.
Adra Arch, dead ahead.
That's it! Leave it to me! Spot on!
Holy crap.
Certainly.
Dude, I hate when this game does that. Like, what the hell? Come on, man. They need to, like, group these guys.
Hey.
Alright, you standing in another forest, black and bare trunks claw their way out of the soil and keep us all in vigil over the young trees and tender shrubs. You move slowly through the woods, and the ruins scattered around them, stone pillars and broken arches show the bones of some destroyed buildings. Between the amidst of all the elves and Lorelands, their faces painted, their bows drawn. Bows drawn. Between and amidst all the elves. Okay, seen the next location, burned trees, crumbling ruins. Where is this? No one seems to recognize it. I've seen.
I'll follow you. I always get a strange feeling near the end of a hunt. Like an itch on the end of my nose. I feel like we're close. I am. After all this time. A part of me had already accepted that I'd never find him. That I'd be stuck wandering like this forever. I'll admit, I didn't believe you at first. Still didn't until now. I haven't spent this much time around anyone since the long hunts in Nasitak. But I've gotten to know you, seen how you deal with Kith. Whatever else you turn out to be when we... Good question.
Alright, after 5 years, I'm not sure what the point of this is. Persuk has moved on, and while I'm out here, everyone in Masuk is carrying on as normal, and that'll be the case whether I come back having found Persuk or die out here. To be honest, I'm not sure what that means for me. She thumps the Ardra wall with the heel of her hand, but I'm getting ahead of myself. First, we need to find Persuk, and as well as your query, Erinoril. Sorry, that's my name. Should you give me time to figure out what I want to say? Okay. What do you think you'll tell?
I guess that depends on who he is now. I'd like to think that traveling for 5 years entitles me to give him a solid earful about all of it. But what really matters to someone in Persuk's position? The village he left behind? The family he likely won't remember? If none of this matters, then what's the point of me even finding him? Or of you finding Theos, for that matter? Well, I feel better already.
Alright, so the vision was a burned wood area, which I'm pretty sure is like Northweld, I think. Could be wrong there, but alright, we're gonna go to this cave, and then see whatever that goes over this way.
not getting through. All right, then.
A simple test. That's settled.
The figurine. It's glowing.
Alright, so I called the right place, but I don't really remember where he morphs. Huh. Alright, there you go. You come upon a clearing and see a group of Glenfathians. Oh crap. Oh, there we go. Hope I can remember to edit that one out. Oy. Meanwhile, the hunters turn and notice you, their bows drawn. What are you doing here? Does this name Parker sound familiar to any of you?
What kind of estromorph foolishness is this?
They step aside, turn to you, and as they do, you see something in the ground behind them. Lying amidst the ferns is a white stag. Dark blood mars its brilliant coat, stumbles. Feel the presence of the beast, something ancient, familiar, before you can speak. Something thumps to the ground. You look down and see the Adra bear. Its bright glow flickering.
Arch shadow.
So it draws you aside. Opens his mouth as if to rant on wasted time or perhaps animal's weakness, but something about the look on Sagani's face steals the air from his lungs and he falls silent. One of the hunters takes a step forward and Sagani raises her bow.
Any closer and you'll bleed out next to him.
Damn, this is intense.
I never thought I'd prepared myself to meet a stranger. To share the honor and history of my village with someone who had no knowledge of us. Even someone who'd scorn our way of life. I was going to tell him about the years of abundance in Masuk. How his granddaughters have hunted caribou, and his grandsons made our walls strong. But he'll be gone in minutes. There's no point to any of this, is there?
Alright. Told her to trust her instincts, so her voice is steady and measured, and her words are guttural and unfamiliar at first. You think she's reciting a poem in her native language. At a moment, you realize she's listening to the names of every person in her village. At last, you hear her speak her own name. The stag takes a final shuddering breath and falls still.
If you've finished your chanting, we need to get to work before the meat spoils.
She looks up, and for a moment, horror and anger flashes in her eyes, but she looks at the dead deer, she shrugs and turns, leaving the Adra figurine in the dirt.
I've finished what I came to do. Let's go.
Greetings.
I journeyed to Singing Falls myself. This is what I found there. By the flame. Do you know what this is? It's a fragment of the Godhammer bomb. Yes, she turns in her hands. The very weapon of Magrin herself helped to build to defeat Waden in the Saints' War. She turns the stone in her hands, gazing at its bright glow. It's weird seeing it right in front of you like that. Before it was just stories, never seemed real. Yet her mouth twists into a frown and orange light carves deep shadows across her face. So why don't I feel any differently? What good does this do? Her knuckles whiten as she tightens her fingers around the stone. You hold part of the weapon designed by a god. The very essence of such a thing should fill you with awe. Magrin is the goddess of trials, and yet you sent me to pursue the vision she gave you. You proved yourself faithless. You entrusted the Godhammer to her followers. Perhaps she trusted them again to end the legacy. Nah, what is the test or just evidence of that? Everyone's trial comes. There's no avoiding it. To avoid it is to fail. Her weakness shows pain as the relics glow. She may have worn the robes of Magrin, but she never followed her. Lost in the darkness is one. She looks sadly at the empty-handed statue. This is the true burden of faith. Not a goddess's challenge, but her absence, her silence, or the answers that reveal your own hollow conviction. It will take weeks still to appoint a suitable successor. In the meantime, I will serve the people as best I can. Wait for a moment. She disappears and quickly returns to me. I'm no longer fit to wield this, but perhaps it will serve you better. Cinders of Faith. Completed.
Hey. Woden was, about everything you'd want your firstborn son to be. Dutiful, honest, put thought into everything he did. A real pain in my ass. Made me look bad about every way he could. It wasn't something he tried to do, but of course that just makes it worse. Not that he didn't get into trouble himself. He was just better about feeling guilty after. We used to have this farmer near us, Hereward. Couldn't stop talking about how well he cared for his chickens. How their feathers were the whitest in town. Convinced the butcher to pay him double what the other farmers got. Me and Woden got tired of hearing it. I was maybe 11, 12 at the time. We borrowed about 6 different dyes from the dyer one night. Dyed Hereward's chickens every color but white. Next morning, the butcher comes knocking asking for 6 of his whitest chickens. We were feeling great, up until Hereward saw what we'd done. He just got on his knees and cried right there, all those colorful chickens around him not knowing what to make of it. I thought it served him right, but I could tell Woden had other thoughts. Sure enough, the next day, every one of those chickens had been scrubbed down. They weren't white, mind you, but Woden sure tried. Never said a word to me about it, but I knew. That was Woden. My parents, they always let us be who we were. Never told me to be more like him or anything like that. Which was good, because I was never gonna. What's on your mind?
I don't know how to finish his storyline. It's kind of weird. Approach the record's keeper, but the rioting just outside the palace has him preoccupied. I'll have to wait for a better time. But then, like, when?
Certainly.
Anyways.
Hey.
All right, I think the next one I'm going to go to the White Marsh or whatever it's called. Check that place out. And then stay tuned. I will also be having an episode where, when I'm in better health, I will hopefully be able to read
I'm ready.
the personal storylines and lore, the dialogues,
Hey.
if you will. Haven't done that yet for the series, so I forgot to say, stay tuned.
You set out for Stalwart. The White March rises up in the distance, stretching to the north and south as far as the eye can see. It beckons to you with peaks like broken fingers. The road thins to a tattered ribbon, and the shadow of the mountains falls across your path. You've barely begun your climb when the darkening sky pummels you with hailstones and turns the ground beneath you to ice. You press on. The air grows thin, and the treacherous mountain passes funnel screeching winds past your ears. A blizzard forces you to make camp for 3 days, huddling for safety while snow piles around your refuge. At last the weather clears, and you approach Stalwart under a crisp blue sky. There's a noise, high and sharp, coming from the village that sounds at first like another frozen gale. But when you top the rise and reach the village's wooden gates, you see what lies beyond them.
Oh snap, that seems exciting. All right, I'll see you guys next episode.